Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. The head of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral Samuel Paparo, has urged the deployment of more naval vessels to the region, citing concerns over China's rapid naval buildup. During a Senate committee hearing, Admiral Paparo stated, "I don't have enough amphibious ships. We don't have enough surface destroyers. We certainly don't have enough attack submarines, and our trajectory is on the wrong side." It is to bees go en the Jepelowity said docket and tay. He also advocated for the inclusion of medium and large unmanned surface vessels in the fleet. In a paper submitted for the hearing, Paparo described Beijing's increasingly aggressive actions near Taiwan as not merely exercises, but rehearsals for potential forced unification. He also commented on the increased participation of Japan's self-defense forces in a U.S.-Philippine combat drill, stating that the coordination of the three countries' missile systems demonstrates a significant leap in Allied firepower. Separately, Commander of U.S. Forces Korea, General Xavier Brunson, confirmed that no THAAD anti-missile systems have been moved from South Korea to the Middle East. According to Al Jazeera, the United States has halted shipments of U.S. dollars to Iraq and paused some security cooperation programs with the Iraqi military. The U.S. Treasury blocked a recent plane shipment carrying nearly $500 million in U.S. banknotes derived from Iraqi oil revenues held at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. This action is intended to pressure Baghdad to distance itself from Iran and curb Iran-aligned groups, particularly in light of attacks claimed by these groups targeting U.S. facilities and neighboring countries amid the ongoing U.S.-Israel war on Iran. The U.S. has also conducted retaliatory airstrikes against Iran-aligned factions within Iraq. While Iraq's central bank stated it has sufficient U.S. currency reserves, U.S. officials indicated the dollar shipment suspension is temporary, though specific conditions for its resumption were not detailed. This move represents an escalation of U.S. pressure on Iraq to align more closely with Washington. The Canadian press reports that Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard fired on a container ship in the Strait of Hormuz on Wednesday, damaging the vessel. This incident significantly complicates ongoing diplomatic efforts to bring the United States and Iran together for peace talks in Pakistan, aimed at ending the war. The attack occurred despite U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to indefinitely extend a ceasefire with Iran, hoping to give Tehran time to formulate a unified proposal for negotiations. Iran, however, offered no formal acknowledgement of the ceasefire extension and has called the continued U.S. blockade of its ports unacceptable. Pakistan's Prime Minister, Shehbaz Sharif, expressed gratitude for the ceasefire extension, believing it would create space for diplomacy. Since the war began on February 28th, Iran has throttled shipping traffic through the critical Strait of Hormuz, causing global oil prices to surge by over 30%. The first round of talks in April failed due to disagreements over Iran's nuclear program, regional proxies, and the Strait. NBC News reports that China has announced it will resume several ties with Taiwan that had been suspended in recent years. These measures include reinstating direct flights to cities across mainland China, such as Xi'an and Urumqi, and facilitating the import of Taiwanese aquaculture products. The announcement follows a high-profile meeting between Chinese President Xi Jinping and Cheng Li-wun, the head of Taiwan's opposition Kuomintang Party, where both sides called for peace. Relations between China and self-ruled Taiwan have been strained since 2016, with Beijing cutting off most official dialogue and increasing military activities around the island. China had previously banned individual Chinese tourist trips to Taiwan in 2019 and imposed import bans on various Taiwanese agricultural products, including pineapples, grouper fish, squid, and tuna, starting in 2021. The statement from China's Communist Party also mentioned exploring a long-standing communication mechanism between the two parties and working towards a bridge connecting Taiwan's Matsu and Kinmen Islands to the mainland. Taiwan responded by stating it would continue to help its farmers and businesses diversify into overseas markets to mitigate risks. The UK has seen its inflation rate climb to 3.3% in March, an increase from 3% in February, according to figures from the Office for National Statistics. This rise is largely attributed to escalating fuel prices, influenced by the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Chancellor of the Exchequer Rachel Reeves has acknowledged the situation, stating that keeping costs down for families and businesses is her primary objective. Analysts predict that inflation is likely to accelerate further in the coming months, with the Bank of England and other economists forecasting a continued upward trend. The conflict's impact on global energy markets and supply chains is expected to be a significant factor. Earlier predictions of inflation dipping below the 2% target have been revised due to these geopolitical events. This news was reported by LBC. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.